And we are live on Facebook with, yes, we are live on Facebook. And we are live on YouTube. Yay! Okay, set the timer going, start it off, turn the heater off because then, oh wait a minute, hold on, also turn, yes I know it helps if I turn that off, here we go, helps if you can actually see me. Good evening or good evening or good evening. It's 8 o'clock here and I'm just about to do my daily session because I haven't done it earlier today. Things got in the way. But the good news is this does open up the possibility that my friends in America will be able to join in. I'm just checking. I see the camera has moved slightly so it's showing a bit more of that wall than it normally does. Will that matter? That may actually be a good thing. Okay, let me just reset the timer because that's going to confuse me otherwise. And if this is your first time doing an exercise session with me, especially if you're from America, hi y'all, if you're from the South, or I used to be able to do a really good New Jersey accent because a friend of mine used to live there, and fantastic. I love the accent of New Jersey. Sorry, there's a fly in the room, but we don't talk about him. Right, let's start again and let's rock and roll. Okay, so that will go ding in a minute, and at that point, sorry, I'm just saying. Right, start by rolling forwards and backwards on one foot. So you're raising the toes up, you're raising the heel up, but you're also allowing the leg and the body to naturally move a little. I'm exaggerating it slightly. That darn fly is asking to be squished. It's a teeny tiny fly, and it obviously likes me. I was teaching Tai Chi via Zoom half an hour ago. Roll the foot side to side, and the darn thing actually managed to fly up my nose and then out again, which shows how small it was. I don't know if it's gone home to tell all its family, hey, you'll never guess where I've been up some bloke's nose. I cannot express the excitement that my life contains. Rolling side to side. And the other foot. Just had to reboot my wife's computer because the screen was upside down. Some script ran to do that because it said the script has stopped. I hope it's not too intrusive a script. I hope it's a jokey one rather than a malicious one. But we're rebooting the computer and we will find out. And side to side. Yeah, if you are new to this, it's a good day to be new to it because there's going to be an announcement or two in a minute. I'll wait till we get time, or an announcement. I think there were going to be a couple, but I can only think of one at the moment, which may or may not be of interest to you, but we will see. Actually, I think there might be 3 announcements. Okay, rotate the knee, horizontal rotations of the knee. First announcement, I'm going to do a session sometime in the not too distant future using very light weights. I've got a couple of 1.5 kilo ones which are actually a bit on the heavy side for what I have in mind. But if you have any really light weights or a couple of cans of soup or something, I will let you know when we're going to do that. Change direction. Okay, second one, I'm going to do a default set of exercises. Those of you that train with me regularly know that things change. So there are some exercises, this is a good example. Some exercises that I do every session. There are other exercises I do once in a blue moon, but there are some exercises, which I don't always do on camera, but I kind of change legs. I kind of consider them core exercises. I don't mean core, I mean important. And so I'm going to put together maybe a 20-minute pre-planned exercise session that I can leave up as a default go-to when you want to do some exercise and you want to sort of cover as many bases in terms of the body as possible. Change direction. I hope that will happen in the not too distant future. The other thing is, whilst the pandemic isn't over, it is easier to mix with people. There are people where you know it is safe to mix with them. I, for many, many years, taught self-defense, and I'm going to put up some videos on self-defense because there does seem to be quite an interest in that. Raise both hands at the same time you raise one leg. Obviously alternate legs. The self-defense videos will fall into two areas. One will be chalk and talk. Self-defense is actually 90% or more what are called soft skills. Keep going. The actual fighting aspect of self-defense is, in terms of practical self-defense, it's 10% or less. In other words, 9 times out of 10 or more, you can avoid a threatening situation without having to resort or without needing to use violence. Keep going. However, 10% of the time, or 8% of the time, you do require physical skills, and I'm going to have a gentleman called Sam, who's taller than me, younger than me, fitter than me, probably stronger than me, act as a mean, nasty person, an aggressor, and we will show some physical skills of self-defense as well. I will explain my bona fides or history of that in one of the talk and chalk videos. Suffice it to say, despite my youthful, boyish good looks, I can't say that with a straight face, and rotate the hips, despite my youthful, boyish good looks, I have many, many years experience both in the martial arts and in teaching self-defense, both individuals, groups and corporate clients back in the day. So I think that should be a bit of fun. Change direction. And of course, like with everything I do, I'm the first to admit there is a selfish aspect to it. Certainly with the physical aspects, it lets me use the old bones. It lets me get this body firing on all 6 cylinders, a 6-cylinder engine I'm going for. Although I suppose, how many cylinders are there in the heart? Segments in the heart, is that 4? I could have. Never mind, I've changed direction. Did I say that? If I did, great. If I didn't, I think you probably would have been able to follow it. Sorry, I probably should have put my blue jacket on tonight. I realise I may be a tad difficult to see. Change direction. I have ordered from dear Auntie Amazon, or is it Uncle Amazon? Don't know what the gender, or if Amazon has a gender. Is Amazon gender neutral? There we are, that's a question for you. a pair of light coloured training slacks, because it did occur to me a few days ago that wearing dark colours may not be optimal for your benefit in terms of seeing gently side to side. With all these exercises, if it is the end of the day, if you're here in the UK and it's 8 o'clock, then hopefully your body is fairly limber from a day of doing stuff. If it's not, or if, let me think, if you, no, actually wherever you are in America, it should be morning or afternoon, shouldn't it, in 5 hours to 7 or 8 hours difference. Yeah, so wherever you are, hopefully your body should be limber enough that you can do these exercises, but only do them at a pace and to an intensity that you find comfortable. Here I'm just going through what's called a range of motion exercise. I'm not really stretching, I'm just letting the body go from side to side. And if you've done these sessions with me before, you'll know that we're going to do 2 minutes of this. You'll also know that we don't normally do 2 minutes of this. But you may notice that as the time progresses, you are getting slightly more limber. As long as you do exercises in a relaxed manner, generally speaking, the body will learn and will accommodate and will grow and become more flexible, more relaxed. Flexible and relaxed are big issues for Tai Chi, but more importantly than Tai Chi, gasp from the Tai Chi instructors, more important than Tai Chi, bring your feet in for this, gently forwards, gently back. More important than Tai Chi is life itself, and life itself will thank you if you relax more and if you are as flexible as you can possibly be without being silly about it, as flexible as makes sense, let's put it that way. Nice and gently. I'm not rushing, this is just the speed my body is happy going at. I'm also quite happy if it's a bit slower. Keep going. Needless to say, we're going to do 2 minutes of this one as well. My legs are straight, the knees are not locked out, but they're not far off, and that's kind of unusual because most of the time I don't recommend doing anything with limbs that are completely straight. It's always nice to have a gentle bend, but in this particular case it is certainly allowable for the legs to be straight. Straighten up. What's this thing called? Upper body. Upper body circles. Start with fairly small controlled circles of the upper body. We'll do 30 seconds each way of controlled circles, and then we'll do 30 seconds each way of as big a circle as is possible. Change direction. As big a circle as is possible for me at this point in time, as big a circle as is possible for you. But at the moment, we're sticking with the smaller circles. And obviously, if these circles for you are not small but are all you can do, they are big for you today, then that's what you stay with and be happy. And I'm going now opposite direction, bigger. Not rushing, in particular, turning to the side, to the front, to the side, backwards, across, and round, and gently, and change direction. And relax. Bring the feet in, bend the legs, rotate the shoulders. I'm just going to step back a little bit and step to the side. There you are. And I think gives you the clearest picture. Rotate the shoulders the other way. The legs are bent. I'm sitting backwards and diagonally backwards ever so slightly, and I've tilted the pelvis under ever so slightly, giving a gentle straightening of the lumbar spine, which is a thing in Tai Chi and Qigong. Change direction now. I'm straightening the legs to push the shoulders up and bending the legs as the shoulders go down, but it's still a circular movement in the shoulders. I knew there was a word for it. Nice and slow, full range of motion. Change direction. Circle the arms. Now, to start with here, I'm not bending and straightening the legs. I'm just circling the arms, but I will, after doing a couple of sets without the legs bending and straightening, but I am sitting back slightly, sitting down slightly, knees softened, slight bend in the legs, think of it that way. Change direction. Change direction, let the legs straighten as you come to the top, bend as you pull the arms down. Change direction. relaxed. Feet shoulder width or hip width, turn the waist, let the arms float around the body, legs are bent, knees relaxed. Turning mainly the waist. You can turn the hips a little, but concentrate on freeing and relaxing the waist. Also turning the head, but let the waist lead the way, and then the head just gives you a little bit of extra rotation or stretchiness, so you're exercising the neck as well as the waist. The arms are as relaxed and the shoulders are as relaxed as you possibly can make them. Bring the feet in slightly, legs bending and straightening, that movement flowing through the body upwards, causing the arms to float forwards and backwards in an arc. Try and keep the body pretty straight. You don't want to be doing that kind of thing. Although there is a separate exercise where you exactly do that kind of thing, but we're not doing that at the moment. Arms relaxed, legs doing the work. I have no idea what the generic term for these kind of exercises are. There are a large number of them that all kind of are related. So we now turn the waist, straighten one leg as the other leg bends, and then straighten that leg as the other leg bends, and the other leg straightens, and the other leg. You know what I mean. Turn the waist. Arms are relaxed, and because of the movement in the legs and the movement in the waist, the arms float up and down in a sort of diagonal movement. Yeah, there are a lot of exercises that kind of fall into a similar category. I think some people, not saying everybody, but I think some people refer to them as loosening exercises, meaning possibly to loosen the joints, more likely to loosen tension in the body would be a more sensible way of looking at it. Okay, bring the hands up, throw them down, up and down. So we're now energetically moving the hands, energetically meaning with energy, not energetically the Tai Chi off-used term to refer to chi flowing around the body. Here I mean energetically, because we're whoosh, whoosh, kind of, there is a variation of this where you do bend forward, but we're not doing the bending forward one tonight, we're just doing the one where you bring the hands up, you bring them down, up and down, so you're moving the hands. There is a coordination with the movement in the legs, but you're not reliant on it as we were with the previous one. No, not previous one, but previous to the previous one. Arms up, bring them down. Arms up, bring them down. As you bring them down, sit to one side, turn towards the other side. This I'm doing with energy in the arms. There is a version equally valid, equally useful, where you just let the arms drop, but this way we get a little bit more blood pumping type of thing, which at this time of night, if you're in the UK, is not a bad thing. A little bit of evening blood pumping. Well, I mean, blood being pumped around the body is kind of something you actually want 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 52 weeks a year, preferably for a couple of 100 years, but we don't all get that, do we? Right, okay. Um, sorry, completely lost my train of thought. The next exercise, take the feet comfortably wide, arms are coming round across the body. And then take the elbow across and up, across and up. Take the hands out, palms up, small circles forwards. Sitting down and backwards slightly, legs bent. Feet hip or shoulder width apart, whichever is more comfortable. Change direction. Keep the upper arms where they are, let the lower arms, forearms, well, two arms, but you know what I mean, forearms, different kind of four. Rotate. And if any of you have watched these things early in the morning, you have now also realised that my banal speech, my sense of humour, does not improve as the day goes on. The jokes stay just as bad. And tuck the elbows in, circle the hands. Holding the forearms static, elbows attached to the body, arms doing all the work. Legs relaxed, knees bent, sitting backwards and downwards slightly, tucking the pelvis under. Change direction. Another video I think I would like to do, probably live, although I would need to program what I was going to do, would be one where we just focus really for 20 minutes, let's say, on all the exercises you can do and relax with the fingers and wrists. There are a lot of them and they're all useful. Turn the head side to side, arms down. Stretching gently each side. Arms come up onto chest, nod the chin, pull chin up, chin down. That's the simplest way of saying it. Look to the front, take one ear up towards the ceiling, then the other ear. Stretching the side of the neck. Relax the legs a bit more. Head forward, head back. As you bring it back, tuck the chin in slightly. look to the front, take the head side, side. So the head is upright, but moving left and right. Not left and right at the same time. That'd be like one of those cartoons where the head of the character expands and expands and expands and goes pop! I wouldn't want that to happen to my head. Don't suppose you want it to happen to yours. So side to side. Okay, tuck the chin in and roll the head side to side. Take the hands down, slow, gentle U shapes.